Hey, my baby. So, the no contact phase, right? It's very important that when God divinely separates you from your spouse, to not contact them because God is cutting off ties, soul ties, old habits, old hang-ups, old problems, old relationships. He has to cut this thing off. There has to be a severance in order for you and your spouse to move forward. So, no contact is very important. This person has to know that they cannot reach you, that they've lost you. You understand? They have to feel the loss. Many people who go through these divine separations, it's divine, meaning it's ordained by God. God had allowed it, you know. He had allowed the separation so that you and this person can grow. And so this person has to feel the loss. They have to feel that they don't have access to you anymore in order for them to close the doors to the problems that hang up the foxes that we've talked about months ago. For those who remember the message that God had given us about the foxes, these foxes that even Samson gathered and set on fire. And even the book of Song of Solomon talks about these foxes that are in the fields, that are messing with our vineyards. We want to get rid of these foxes that are in our relationship, messing with our finances, our bonding, our softness of the heart. We want to get rid of these foxes, these hang-ups, these open doors that leads to witchcraft, rebellion, satanic, entities. We want to get rid of this. And so the way to do that is sometimes through no contact. You have to go through the season of divine separation alone, which is very hard. And it will seem like, you know what? God is not listening to me. I'm struggling. He does not care. I don't know what else to do. Pray. Pray hard. Pray hard. Even harder. Pray your hardest. And even when this person contacts you, pray even harder. Because what's going on is these kingdom marriages are under fire, they are under attack. And the enemy does not want this prophetic, God ordained heavenly union to come together. No. God had shown me a vision of a grid. And then all of a sudden, on this grid, little lights were coming on one by one until the grid was completely filled with red lights. And so I asked the Most High, what did this mean? And he was revealing to me, these are my sons and daughters who are in loveless relationships. And it's spreading like a virus. And the grid is lit up, almost like a computer screen, showing how this virus is spreading across the nation, all over. He was letting me know so many of his sons and daughters are in one sided, loveless relationships. It's very important that you are in prayer, asking God to give you the confirmation to show you if this is the person, is this the person I'm supposed to be with, God? Please. Every step of the way, have that Gideon faith, asking God, hey, please help me. I don't know what I'm doing here. I can't do this without you. You will be surprised how God responds, how he comes back with a word just for you. You don't want to be connected to someone that is not your ordained. You don't want to be connected to someone else's spouse, doing destiny exchange, knowing that this is not your spouse. But because you don't want to see your sis or your brother with the person, so you want to take that person off somebody's, that's a form of destiny exchange. That's a form of envying and coveting. And so you don't want to be that type of person. I want to release whoever it is. If you're not for me, sir, I want to release you to my sister, whoever you belong to. I'm that type of chick. I don't want nobody that ain't mine. Hello. So, um, when I meet someone, I want to make sure, is this the person you want me to be with, God? Because I don't want to ever be in a position of taking somebody's man. I don't. It's not a good feeling, knowing that you're in a relationship with someone who isn't even yours. And then being in a one-sided, loveless relationship after figuring out that this person is not your person and this person really doesn't love you the way you deserve, it's one-sided. God knows all too well about loving a people that doesn't love him back. God knows about one-sided relationships. And so for us to experience a one-sided relationship, in a way, it's a bit of prophetic suffering. It's a way for you to see, hey, you see how that feels? That's exactly how I feel as a God, as the creator of heaven and earth, the giver of life. I feel like I'm in a one-sided relationship with my own people. And so when you get to understanding God on that prophetic level, you will have a different type of vibe when you pray, a different type of understanding when you read the Word of God. It's very important that we are in the relationships that God has ordained for us because they're fit for us. They are what is best fit for our life. Anything else is not in God's purpose or design for our life. Get in a relationship that God has fit for you. And when God divinely separates you from your spouse, make sure you are not contacting this person so that God can work on this person individually. It's very important. Give God his space. Let God work on this person's heart. It takes time, sometimes months, sometimes years. I ain't gonna lie, it'll take a while. In the meantime, get to know you. How can you get well? How can you heal from some trauma? You know, how can you be better? And it's not always about money. People think, oh, money is the solution. It is not. The solution is Christ. That is your solid foundation. Money is a resource, just like everything else. Food is a resource. A car is a resource. It is not the source. Get connected to the source so that you can understand the uh, importance and the need of the resources so that you don't have to be so connected to the resources and not at all connected to the source. And when the source calls on you, you can't come because you're so fixated on the resources. Get connected to your source. Put the resources in their proper place. Disconnect from those God is telling you so that you can solely lean and depend on him and his son, Jesus. That is your source. Be blessed.